So first of all, welcome everybody. We have the latest crossover collaboration between Gamemakers and 2.5 Gamers. Today,
Yes.
we discuss a recent post written by Justin Yao discussing one of the most successful game studios of last year and continuing on to this year, which is FirstFun, aka Funfly, the developer behind the hit top-grossing game Last War Survival. But in this discussion today, we're going to be talking about not only FirstFun, but also River Game. What is that relationship? How are these two companies related? And what is behind their billion-dollar strategy? And so to discuss this very interesting and secretive topic, we have for you myself, Joseph Kim, CEO of Lila Games, building a shooter game. But prior to this, I was in publishing at Sega, NBC, Universal. But more appropriate to the discussion at hand, I also worked at Fun Plus and led the development of the game King of Avalon, which became a top-grossing game. And many of the reskins are 4X games, and helped Fun Plus kind of like move in the direction of 4X. We also have Justin Yao, who wrote the post that will be associated with discussion. He has a background in investment banking and private equity, but most recently he's also been writing for Novik and is now an MBA candidate at Wharton. No comment on getting an MBA for you, Justin. I'm sorry to hear about that, but it's all good. And from 2.5 Gamers, we have both Matej Lancaric and Jakub Remiar.
Nice.
Two of the 2.5 Gamers. The other guys.
Yeah, we are the two because, the half gamer, when we talk about Forex, it's never there because there are basically no ads. So.
Right. So many of you guys already know Matej, longtime UA guy, runs a UA agency along with his No BS newsletter and founding and being a co-host on 2.5 Gamers. Also, we've got Jakub, also from 2.5 Gamers, extensive background in game design at Pixel Federation, also Superscale, now as a freelance consultant working with many of the world's best companies. And so that's your crew. And, ironically, as the guy who actually worked on a 4X game, I'm probably the least up to date on what the hell is going on with 4X games.
Man.
Although, we did do a podcast before that was very popular with Matej. We had that collab before where we talked about the whole strategy of, trying to take like hyper casual concepts, bringing them in and all that kind of stuff. If you missed that, we'll put some links in the show notes. But this is our crew.
Yeah.
We will be talking about this topic. And so maybe I can hand it over to you, Justin, to set up the context, the history, what the hell's going on, and to help us understand more about this stuff. Matej, do you have something to say?
Sorry. Start about the history. I kind of had the post where I was talking about FirstFun and River Game as a one company, and there were people in the comments like, well, you got it wrong. This is a different company. It's not the same. I was like, only if you know. So
there's a lot of different. Yeah, I think FirstFun is the entity that is in Singapore, I guess. Funfly is the Hong Kong entity. And then there's. I'll let you take it away.
They have most probably 10 companies. It's the same thing as we discussed Top Girl, which is developed by Tap for Fun, but it changed their company name on stores like 5 times already. So it's like, but we have some friends.
It's now Tap for Fun, by the way.
It's Tap for Fun now? Nice. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's all legit, right? So
anyway.
Everything's legit
always. So good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's like a million developer accounts and many different entities, but if you actually play the game, you'll realize it's the exact same gameplay, same design, same art, same stuff, recycled art assets as well.
But this goes by the way all the way back to Machine Zone. They're also doing this Epic War, Epic Time, or whatever, where the Mobile Strike or the other accounts. It was not Game of War was just alone there sitting in the portfolio.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you have the Forex core, then why reinvent the wheel? You just reskin. But yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's not reskinning anymore.
Yeah. All right. So let me dive into it. But like before we start, like let's turn back the clock a little bit. As we know, like FirstFun, River Game, we've discussed sort of the same entity, but this partnership actually like goes back a very, very long time. So the founders actually met at this company called Alex Technology, which was a very successful Chinese game developer, and they actually initially started by making games for social platforms. Their first like hit game was a game called Happy Farm, which actually looks a lot like Farmville if you take a look at it, and that took off in like I think Asia as well as some other regions, and that helped them get some money from Tencent in 2009. That helped them expand beyond social platforms into other platforms as well, like into mobile specifically. And I think over time they became known for their expertise with 4X games, and especially their ability to ship those games globally as well. And in 2013, they launched a game called Clash of Kings, which grossed over $1 billion over its lifetime. And early on, it showed a lot of promise. So they actually sold the business shortly thereafter to a Chinese strategic, which was trying to build mobile games for $400 million. So it was an amazing exit for the founding team. And obviously, as investors, like Tencent obviously loves these guys. And after exiting, I think they had pretty long non-competes. Like I read somewhere that it was like 5 years long. So the founder of FirstFun was the founding CTO of Alex Technology. He spun out and found his own venture capital firm called Challengers Capital, which has over $1 billion asset under management. And they backed Moonton, which was sold to ByteDance in 2021 for $4 billion. Also backed River Game, which is the other main character in our story, and which was founded by an early Alex Technology PM. So around 2020, I think the founder of FirstFun started getting the itch again. He was like, oh, my non-compete is over. Maybe I'll start something. So he started FirstFun and quickly got some money from his old friends at Tencent. And I think he took some of that money and acquired a significant minority stake in River Game, like 40% stake or so. That really formalized their partnership, and you can sort of see it in their games. And I don't think like there's much information online about how they exactly work together today, but it's very clear if you played their game, like it's all the same. They're working together very, very closely. Like their flagship title, Last War, was sort of built off of the River Game IP of Top War, and then launched under like the FirstFun name. And sort of like it's really interesting how they're looking to redefine the 4X genre, and like now they have like 3 of the top 10 4X games using this like sort of same playbook of like combining UA and the product together and having it come together. And before we let Matej dive into the UA magic, I'll pass it off to Jacob.
Wait. It's Matej. Wait, Matej.
Matej.
Man, you just write gold right there.
Matej.
He's gonna. It's fine. Don't worry. It's all good. Yeah,
I hope you forgive me for that. But
just make a lot of fun of it always.
Yeah, before.
Don't worry.
I'll pass it off to Jacob, whose names is easier to pronounce. Who played a lot of these games.
You just called him
discuss some of the business
It's
side.
called Matt. No, but before we go there, I think this is really, really interesting stuff that you can't really find anywhere, basically, on the internet. The only thing that we like, how we know these teams are kind of connected, that we talked to Heaven from Century Games, and he said, "Look, man, like they know each other. They know each other quite well from back in the days." So this is quite interesting, like how the whole kind of setup is done.
Yeah, like he actually introduced us to River Game CMO. Because these two guys are basically arch rivals there, but they're actually very good friends. They were doing this silly photo op where one was smiling, the other was not. Like, oh, this will be us next year.
Like, okay, this is you 2023. This is me 2025.
Yeah, and you guys know the relationship also between Century and Fun Plus, right?
Yeah.
So there's all these. They're very well connected. It's a
small world. It's a small world.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a small world. It's basically the street of 4X OG people all doing their games and all knowing each other, like a small village.
Yeah, but the thing is now, what a River Game or FirstFun is doing, they have not only Last 4 but Dark War as well, Top Heroes, and Last War Z or whatever. That's something which is in the soft launch. Yeah,
the shooter one.
Yeah, that's what we briefly discussed, and then there is another Top Heroes follow up. So it's like. It's really becoming interesting even more in 4X. They're cementing themselves on the top spot. It's insane.
Yeah, just to get that right, Top Heroes is the one game, and then Top Heroes Idle Battle AFK RPG is the other one. If I understand,
and I didn't even say Top War, so there you go. It's like it's 5 games already.
Or it's not.
Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, that's just pretty cool. That's why I think Century Games is a little bit behind. So like High Seas Hero, it's a new thing, but it needs to really catch up quickly. Because even though you may like Whiteout Survival made like 8 million a day, like a few days ago or weeks ago, but it's not enough.
During Chinese New Year.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing though is that from all I can tell, everyone is going full focus on 4X. There's no like, oh wait a minute, maybe with, if fingerprinting goes away, maybe this, maybe not. And they're like, no.
Nobody cares.
We're going all in on 4X. We're investing. We're doubling, tripling down. So it does seem like the guys that are in the space are basically very enthusiastic and very optimistic about the growth of the space, or the rest of the market just sucks.
Well, that's true. That's true as well. But the thing is, we are discussing here 4X, and when you talk to other people in the industry, like, oh my god, 4X, blah, blah, they are not even there yet. They think still like 4X is from the Game of War days, but we are so far ahead of that era. And now when we talk about 4X and all of these different onboarding situations that they implement in the game, or different themes, art styles, whatever else, I'm going to show you with Dark War especially and their UA. This is just UA-led product design. It's just like, this is it. This is where we are at the moment.
Yeah, but you need to do it right, because there are examples like, if you take, for instance, the new Age of Empires 4X game, it's like, that's not how you do it, guys. It's just like, even though you're at Tencent, no, this is not how you do it, and the game's basically dying as we speak.
Yeah, because that's like, it's mandatory now to build the game around the onboarding, and like that's the key. So all the fingerprinting and all of the privacy changes, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. Like, you build basically now games and events and onboarding and everything just around the UA and around the algorithms. Let's think about it. You need to be able to send such a big amount of events from the game to Facebook, to AppLovin especially, to Google, TikTok, wherever. And you need to take that into consideration when you are already when you're building the game, and where and when can you do it? Ideally in onboarding. So that's why you have the core, which is 4X, and that you can squeeze the money out of basically everybody. And then you borrow the onboarding from like any other game that can have low CPIs, pretty much. Like, that's the key.
So Matej, you had mentioned that there are a number of innovations in 4X. Clearly, like the UA sort of top of funnel to a gameplay integration trick is there. Jakub, Matej, are there any other tricks or advances that you think we should call out specifically?
Like having a very good 4X game is one of them, of course.
Sure, yeah.
because I think like this is the issue here also, that people just focus on this like UA tricks on the beginning, and everybody's talking, like, we are also talking just about that, but again, needs to be like 4X first in a way. So that's important. Like, just to I want to bring up this article that we got from Ying, a friend that we met in Shanghai, where he talks about like few metrics, just like a metrics to kind of look for in order to understand how 4X works, and it will, I guess, smoothly go into the marketing part. So first is the part where he talks about that 4X is based on 4X servers. It's not one game for everybody, it's 4X servers, and these kingdoms are kind of working with their own ecology. And this is super important, because you create a new server literally like every 3 days. And you try to staff that server with new players. And then, because after those 3 days, it doesn't matter, let's say it doesn't make sense to put in new players because everybody is so far ahead, you start a new server. Because a lot of these things are about having an equal starting point where at some point, people in the kingdom get so far away from each other, so you're basically
You can't play.
nothing compared to the
You
whales.
can't play.
Yeah, you can't play. You're just like trying like an ant beating an elephant, basically. So you need to continuously create different servers in order to kind of keep this equalized position, which is again driving the UA. And then the other thing are the dynamics of the server itself. How to kind of keep it running and how to know if it's dying or not dying, because a lot of it goes into the social interaction between the alliances and between the tensions of as they're expanding on the map. They're bumping into each other, killing each other, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. All these like social dynamics. Like we've seen this many times working very well, even in games that are, what was it, the Empire Strike thing?
Empire
I almost
Takeover?
forgot the name. Yeah, Empire Takeover, which literally has 0 UA, makes $500,000 a month. because
Between
people are just
$500,000
still
to
fighting
1
each
million a
other.
month.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like the strength of it, like these social dynamics that works there. But again, you can just kind of check the benchmarks there to know that basically after day 30, usually the whole server is just paying players because everybody else just like gets stomped to the ground. And then Nick pretty much goes into like direct examples like how to count it up by just checking the alliances on the server and the leaderboards, and by that kind of estimate you can get a good kind of round down of okay, if this server is alive or not. And then just like all of these metrics that he's pretty much going around, where like how much kind of spend people and blah blah blah. Don't want to go like in super details, but pretty much what it means that you end up with something like 30 to 80k installs for a day for one server, which is the demand that you're going for, because it's just so high, and the CPI in Forex is so high.
Yeah.
So, and that's like just the starting default point to can enter the game. And that's why we go into the second part of this whole thing, which is why are we just going after UA and taking down the CPI as much as we want with different implementations of course onboarding and hyper casual systems, basically.
Yeah, and I think the point that you're making, Jakub, in terms of like how important server and player management is something that I'd love to see this post. I've never seen anyone write about it. But, and the word on the street is that, like, the main reason that most people attribute to the failure of Game of Wars are like, oh, they inflated their economy. And they basically leave it at that. But then you ask, well, why did they inflate their economy? Why were they giving such massive sales and discounts? Well, it's because, to the point that you were talking about, you've got all these super killer whales, and everybody else in the middle got nuked. And so then you're trying to take the lower level and get them high enough so that they can be the sheep for the wolves at the top, right? And so like...
Yeah, it was like, it's called feeding the whales. That was literally the UA tactic.
Yeah. So like, if somebody has written about this, I mean, that's just pure gold, because I've never seen anyone write about it. So yeah, we should definitely, we'll add the links to whatever that post is in the show notes. And if anyone is a PM or a systems designer, you absolutely have to be aware of these kinds of issues for sure.
Yeah, like it's again, it creates a very big tension. That's what he talks about in the article on the company, where like, again, literally citing this, the remaining users are mostly acquired by blah 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 campaign, which may cost $50 to $300 per install.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the thing we're talking about: $50 to $300 per one install.
Like, people are still super surprised when I talk about how really expensive it is in match free or merge, like $50 to $80 for purchase campaign. I was like, oh my god, no! Like, yeah, well, this is not 2013 anymore, where it's like you were buying CPI campaigns for $5 and that was already super expensive. Like, just wake up! It's 2025. It's not gonna get any better. Honestly, anybody, like, this is the reality.
Yeah, and then you just count the numbers. If the players are so expensive, and then you need 30 to 80k downloads a day in order to stuff that server up.
Yeah, that's a lot of money on a daily basis. And but the thing is, with all these, like, we talk about this as a trick, like UA trick. You use the hyper casual, but it's not a trick anymore. It's like it's really baked in the game. like you have to play those let's call it hyper casual levels and all these games mechanic. You really need to play. So it's not fake anymore. It's not called mini games as it was back in the days with Gardenscapes and Homescapes. It's another core. That's it. It just drives down the CPI and will broaden up the funnel because of how the actual gameplay on the core looks like, which is brought from the hyper casual. Like that's the main thing. And we know that from Total Battle, which is also a 4X game, which is the only 4X game.
Top 7
Yeah,
4X
which is
game, by the way.
not from China, and it's from our friends from Score Warrior. They were kind of trying to nail this for a long time and trying to find like what kind of mini game is going to work. And this game is already 8 years old, and they started scaling like a couple of years ago back. So because they were trying to figure it out. Yeah, exactly.
Just like to sink this in, it's like a 2017 game release, so which is like now 8 years old. And after those 8 years old, it's hitting record revenue of $500,000 a day. So this tells you how like strong the strategy is if executed properly.
That's where it's actually growing. Like that's when they figured out the actual combination of the mini game, onboarding.
Yeah. So in revenue size for last 30 days, they are basically on 7th place
amazing.
with something like 20.5 million a month. But still, like nothing compared to Last War, which is 10 times bigger, literally 10 times bigger. That's the scale we're talking about.
Yeah, and I think it's important to underscore that like some of these, we can kind of be a little bit glib and just kind of hand wave and call them tricks and dismiss them, but like it literally means the difference between success and failure. And like people may or may not know. We may have already talked about this, Matej, but Whiteout Survival was actually a failed game, right? So it was, I think it was like a zombie game or a mafia game or something like that. And then the theme,
the Frozen City,
and drawing from Frozen City because they're like, oh, well, look at all the, look at the metrics for Frozen City. So that literally made the difference between success and failure, and not only like a small success, it's like a massive top grossing success, right? And so I think that kind of though begs a question. So we had, I would say in like the last, the wave before this was we saw a wave of themes, right? It was all about reskins and like, whether it's like Game of War to Mobile Strike to Final Fantasy and Fun Plus, or had, King of Avalon to State of Survival to, I think they also tried a pirate ship kind of boat thing too. They had a dinosaur thing. But it was all themes. And then now we've got like the UA game, hyper casual game integration, integrating like that initial onboarding part. So then, what's next? I don't know. How would you guys? Do you think there's more room to run on this current trend, or are we going to have to shift to the next trend?
I would pretty much like categorize like the 4X era of like what you just said pretty much, which ended with something like Rise of Kingdoms. Like Rise of Kingdoms, I would consider the
last
Lilith
kind of
the last of the like,
themed.
The old generation of 4Xs where they implemented heroes, gacha, very sleek, supercellish UI, like very good experience. And again, it was at its height, it was doing like 3 million a day somewhere in start of 2021, and that's I guess the era of 4X still going kind of straight without additional
4X only,
stuff
basically.
to kind of because it was like the height of Corona, CPIs were completely different, stuff like that. So yeah, all the external factors. Afterwards, as you can also see here on the chart, where pretty much from its height from April 2021, it just went down to something like a third of its scale of 4, whatever. It's the time where all of these other kind of big Chinese, Lilith is also Chinese, of course, but I would say the second generation of 4Xs comes in, which are designed with the premise that the 4X is like up to par with everything that was done before, with all the knowledge, everything is just like up to par. It's like nothing's there. But the important part is that where we are. last war. So that's what launched June 2023. Yes, somewhere there, where UA is the main focus, and UA
But
is driving
you are
product.
missing one
That's
big point,
the thing.
Mr. Jakub over here, because before last war there is Evony, and where the fuck you have Evony in these graphs and Sensor Tower, Mr. Jakub? That's very,
I have
very,
Evony somewhere
very,
here.
very
Here
important,
it is.
because
Here it
what
is.
they did, and they saw what PlayerX is doing, they started doing pull the pins and implemented it in the game. So that's very, very important, and that's exactly where they started scaling.
But check this. 2021, where Lilith's Rise of Kingdoms was at its height, it was 1/10 of it.
Yeah.
It was 300k a month. But then, again, 2022, 2023, it went on its full scale, where it's kind of like what, like 1 million a day?
Pull
Or
the
so.
pin. That's there.
But pull the pin is still like just, I would say, it's like Pikachu to Raichu, basically, where it's just the first stage of like trying to kind of, do the onboarding more like fake-ish.
Yes.
But then both Whiteout Survival, both Last War, both like all of these other Chinese games are doing it now as an integral part of the game.
Yes.
It's not anymore a gimmick. It's an integral part of the game, and it stretches through the whole game.
Whiteout Survival, I would argue it's not exactly like Last War, because the Whiteout Survival onboarding is an onboarding. It's Frozen City, and that's it. And then you have 4X. But in Last War, you have another core, right? Kind of.
It's Last War unlocks the world much sooner.
Yeah, but you have still the hyper casual or gates mechanic gameplay. What do you have in Whiteout Survival? You have only 4X.
The idol. No, you have the idol. It is idol, man. It's idol. Like it's exactly the same as if we go to high seas. We'll get there.
That's 4X. Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, that's 4X.
That's 4X, by the way. So this is High Seas Hero, which is the latest iteration on the market of this, because this has now 3 cores, not 2. Because if I click here, even though it looks like Fallout Shelter, this is basically Frozen City.
With different skin, yeah.
With different visual and 2D thing, but if I go like stuff like here, or you see like the reactor here that I can change engine and stuff, it's the same as Frozen City. Basically, it's the same. This is the 4X map with the world, again the same. We all know this part, but the main start is Legend of Mushroom. So they basically layered it with Legend of Mushroom, then Frozen City, and Whiteout 4X part. So it's basically Whiteout Survival plus Legend of Mushroom on top. So you actually go through 3 cores now. So this is the game that hasn't been scaled yet. It's doing 40k a day, which is, I guess, just the maintenance mode where Century Games is trying to completely.
So this is the next generation, JK. When you ask like where are we going?
If it works, it works.
It's no. There is no if it works. You look at the charts. Last War 5 games, Century Games 1. So this absolutely has to work. This has to work. There's no way about it's just a matter of time, not if.
Okay, so the next wave is multiple cores, basically.
Yeah, we literally got told by Century Games CEO who said that on my post that we're still figuring it out. Thanks
because
for following
words on the street is like this was an RPG game before, but 4X you can squeeze way more out of the players, and you already know 4X from the Whiteout Survival. So
yeah. So this is one thing where I would say the evolution is going again to be more hidden, more kind of total addressable market where you're taking different players from different genres and trying to squeeze them into the 4X core, where in the end they meet with this like high profitable LTV engine, which is 4X. And then there's the other one, and we go back to our image here, which is Top Girl. By the way, just to kind of validate this picture, this is the chart that we're talking about. This was released November last year, and it's currently doing
200k.
More than 200k.
What happened in that big drop?
There was a problem with
I don't know.
Absolutely, because
I don't know. Probably some kind of technical problems, I would say. Like I don't know if it's also on download. Yeah. Oh, or maybe it's the UA got turned off.
I still see those ads. I still see those ads, but
I don't know what's happening here, but it's very suspicious. But anyway, it's scaled up, and the thing here is the other way to do 4X, which is completely hide the 4X and never even talk about it. And even though it looks like a 4X, you just take completely different naming, theme, everything. So here, for instance, this game is based on the premise that you are running, as a manager, you are running a pop group of girls that you get from Gacha, and they have different AI-generated visuals or whatever.
So it's like softcore porn, basically slapped on Forex.
Yeah, like dating stuff. They like text you and so on. I don't know where's the messenger. Yeah, where they like send you AI pictures and stuff like that. These guys really went full on AI on this. There's even the part where like if you record with them, the game starts to play videos of
K-pop stolen videos,
K-pop choreography. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like this is how it is basically. So you see the effort the guys put into this in order to masquerade the part of it, and instead of soldiers, you're creating fans. Instead of monsters on the map, you're going against shopping malls and hotels. Instead of whatever players, you're like defeating stadiums, or like it's all within this like pop group.
So if you don't really know, like you are playing Forex and you are just a regular type of player, you wouldn't even notice that.
You will never say this is Forex. There's not even like one
hospitals,
mention of like damage or something like that. Yeah, and the whole mechanic, by the way, it's like very streamlined, because usually you would expect Forex. Like I can't skip that. Okay, I can't skip that because I'm not CEO level 25 or VIP. Sorry for that. But if we go here, just to kind of show you, so media reviews on the song, blah blah blah.
Also, all of these, it doesn't make any sense. You just click. And
it's an idler. In the beginning, it starts as an idler. Again, the map.
Jakub, maybe you can help me understand though, because again, I'm an old school Forex guy. So the beauty of Forex when we were working on it was basically around the economy, right? Because unlike a gacha driven game, you have the ability to have a consumable economy where you're building a lot of troops, and you have like these build war cycles where you're building troops, and then you're going to war, which drains the economy of all the stuff that you built up. And that's how you are able to monetize almost infinitely better than a game with limited progression, for example. So
because there's destruction of property.
In this example, what do? Do you build up a bunch of girls and they battle each other and they die? Or like how do you drain the economy here?
The fans die.
The fans die. Fans are the soldiers.
I see. Okay.
So if we go,
you go raid the shopping mall.
Yeah, you go raid the shopping mall, but I want to go to show you how to actually build up soldiers here. So you build them by idle sales or whatever, and again, this is building 800 soldiers per hour.
800 fans.
So imagine like this whole screen is basically the whole simplified funnel of a city where you upgrade every single building, where you need to upgrade and tech treat the soldiers from like level 1, level 4, level whatever. This is just like super simplified. It's super simplified, but the mechanics are kind of the same.
Okay.
Where again, I have a lot of soldiers, and if I go somewhere here on the map and there's whatever a concert, so we go perform, and then I guess we need to go to like a shittier one. So we go perform, and then we select
the girls,
soldiers. So we have 48,000 soldiers. We have like 5 girls. It's like pretty much similar to Rise of Kingdoms. Again, gacha-based heroes. We go by car, and there we go, and that's it. And we have two like
instead of
just simplified.
You look at like marching the army on the right hand side, which is dark core, I guess, and then the left hand side is just driving a car to shopping mall.
Yeah, but this is exactly the same thing as I'm doing here on the right side, where this is dark core. Exact same thing. Nothing else.
So it sounds like you're still able to push on themes a bit. You've got the multi-cores. Is there anything else in terms of how you guys see the progression of Forex going? Justin, do you have any thoughts on where you think Forex is going?
So one thing is, again, more onto like adding different cores, adding different kind of fake stuff to kind of widen the funnel. The other one is this Top Girls thing where like completely different team, like non-battling, non-whatever, simplification to like, I guess the premise is creating new Forex players which are oblivious to the point that they are playing Forex, of course, like again, going around the market. And then yeah, I guess this is where we end up. Like, I don't see anything else currently working on the other end, because you can't just start with 4x. It's just like too complex, too hard to get to, and
it's almost like with the match
it's not
3.
possible.
You show the forex or you show the match 3, and CPIs are paying 120 or 200 dollars immediately.
Yeah. So it's not possible. Like, again, if it would be possible, games like this, like Rise of Kingdoms, they would be doing great. They're not doing great. It's just like the game's great. I played it for multiple months. It's just like not possible. So yeah, we end up into the UA decides the product now, and because of that, the product completely shifts on the onboarding. But the end state of it is still you need like a proper 4x destruction of property, a map, kingdom, social, guilds mechanics, and all these other
Now,
things.
Justin, now you talk, because he is trying to catch a breath. So now it's your turn, because if it's like
Yeah, no.
that's how it works.
Yeah, so I think I played Last War for like 30 days, then Top Heroes for like 60 days. And I think like the way that at least FirstFun is tackling it, I can't speak to the broader market as a whole. They're actually trying to like integrate the game loops like to be more deep and like to keep that illusion for longer. So I think for Last War, I think the gates mechanic went away by week 1 or 2.
We'll get there. We'll get
week
there.
1 probably. Yeah, and I don't really play it. I don't really engage with it anymore.
You still need
but
it,
at
yeah.
least for Top Heroes, there was more reason for me to re-engage with that core loop. There was like bosses that I had to kill every single day for like loot drop, and I had to go back and expend my energy and go back to that gameplay loop every single day. So there was more integration. I think the retention overall for Top Heroes is actually better than what I saw for Last War.
Yeah, and I'm trying to just kind of jump into the UA and the part and the creatives, because we are talking about this, and the Top War that we didn't touch that much. They changed the whole tutorial and onboarding like 4 times throughout the years, and now completely, yeah, it's like completely, yeah,
New
completely.
gameplay.
And like you look at this, and this like Top War, this was their like creative, like the signature creative. They were merging, and they were using these merge kind of mechanics because merge was sexy before, and this is what worked for them. But then merge got crowded, and it wasn't that sexy anymore. I mean, it's really expensive as well. It does create an interesting retention profile or adding up on that side. But this was it. Like they were trying to push the merge a lot, but then they did all of these hyper casual stuff as well, obviously. So they went through a big evolution, and now when you look at what they are doing in terms of the creatives, you wouldn't even notice if it's a Top War or if it's a Last War. They're literally using the same creatives, and I mean it makes sense. And now what everybody in terms of the Forex are doing now, and even the Whiteout Survival or the High Seas Hero, is just borrowing the best parts from different games, and that's what I think Dark War is also doing. Because Dark War, on the other hand, and I'm jumping between the games, Dark War on the other hand is it's Whiteout Survival basically with a different theme, and they're now doing so well because of
AI
creatives. And wait a second, July, it's not exactly the way, but they also went through a big shift. So these were like the creatives they were running before, and you don't see any kind of AI generated stuff. But then what I think we didn't talk about is that all these companies between each other, like they steal shit. Like you basically they come to the work, like, what are we going to create this today for the videos? Like, oh, let's see what the other guys were running yesterday. So this is the brief. And like literally we thought the Dark War started this AI kind of revolution. But they actually, I was digging a little bit deeper, and they didn't. They were using all of these. So let's stay with Dark War. Again, kind of survival theme, nothing.
Looks like Last of Us.
Nothing really AI driven. But then I think when they started running was kind of November or October, and that definitely helped them scale
changed.
like heavily. And I've seen this million on stage on the other stuff, and this is pure AI. I was when we were talking about Dark War, I was able to create this type of video during the recording
During the
in
stream,
5 minutes. In 5 minutes.
Yeah. And they scaled already to 500,000 a day from October last
And this
year.
this goes well with the theme, and this again like very much touches the point with the top girl, where you use AI also in the creatives as well. And
You use
AI
AI
basically
everywhere.
So but again, like the Dark War, like the integral part of their success, again, like here, they were not scaling that much before they started doing this AI stuff. It was just like it was okay. Maybe it was all only in soft launch, but as soon as they hit this, it just scaled massively. And now they're still continuing on scaling. And like in terms of the UI, like this is great, because think about the efficiency here. You have if I am able to create a video during the recording in 10 minutes, and I'm a UA manager and I talk about this game, and while I talk, I do the stuff, they have shit ton of people in the creative team. They're just pushing new stuff on a daily basis in hundreds of the videos.
Yeah. By the way, let me stop you right there a little bit. I think people underestimate how many people are there on the creative teams of Forex game in China. We're talking hundreds. Like literally hundreds, like 200, 150. It's a baseline, I think, for a game like Whiteout Survival.
100 people.
It's just like no way around it.
On the creative team. Also, if you, I think you don't really hear the sound, but anyway, like all of these, like look, I will show you like how many creatives they have. But this is also like with if you check like how the Whiteout Survival is doing, and I will get there. They have engine to build the creatives. Like you see the quality, you see like the different, like every month when we talk about the creative trends, Whiteout Survival has like, let's say 100 or 200 new creatives. Like it's insane. Every single month.
Yep.
Because like this is the game. Like this is exactly the game that you just like the UA. Like when we talk about this, like how UA is dead, yes, it is, because this is different thing. You really need to push on the like volume of creatives, and you need to add the new creatives into the campaigns on a weekly basis. Yeah, in dozens, in ideally hundreds, of course. Like if you don't have the scale, it's Whiteout Survival. Not that many games have, but still, it's still like it's about the volume. It's about the volume. They have 600 pages of creatives. That's insane. And this is Dark War. This is Dark War, which is now, if we look at the January, like what they are doing, like they start kind of experimenting with different stuff as well. Not only AI, but it's still, yeah. It's like it's like this is just like the insanest thing in the whole UA. Yeah, you have now the combination of AI, this UGC. I don't know if this girl is real or no. Maybe no. I can't
no.
I can't even say that anymore. So this is how you scale the UA at, like these days. And if we go to Last War, it's basically their UA is now like iteration of all of these different gates mechanics, and oh my god, they're doing such a good job, because this is from last month. This is January, and you see like it's the concept, like nothing new, but the iterations there, it's all about the quality. If we go back to, let's say, 2000, when they launched 2023, I think, in December, it wasn't all gates mechanic. I mean, kind of, but they were using these type of things, right? It's like the slingshot and all of the fun stuff. But I think, well, did they launch 2023 or 2022?
Well, soft launch June 2023, started scaling November 2023.
Because I was looking into the creatives. It wasn't always as great as as it's now. And you look at this, and you immediately see Age of Origins, which we also didn't talk about, but it was Age of Origins and then Last War, where they basically Last War copied almost everything that Age of Origins did before. So they it's like it's either Ebony or Age of Origins. Then it came to Last War, and now like how all of these kind of ideation but who is inspired by who is like Ebony, then other 4X, and then it comes into Royal Match afterward.
Yeah, Royal Match also goes after 4X creatives.
After Royal Match comes Playrix. So basically, 4X between each other is like within weeks. Then few months it comes to match, to casual. then it goes back to Playrix afterwards.
And Matej, what's your outlook in terms of UA for 4X in the future? I mean, do you think, like one, I think there was a question before somebody had been asking about the profitability based upon UA spend, but also just the outlook in terms of, do you think that this continues in terms of whether it's the size of the UA teams or the amount of creatives, is this sustainable? What's your just general outlook for UA?
I think the general outlook and like where they are going from here is, that's what I think like it's happening to High Seas Hero. It's you need to have the onboarding suitable for the broader market, and the marketability needs to work on that side of the equation. I think what's gonna happen next with High Sea Heroes is they kind of find better theme or something which is not really that core as Legend of Mushroom and the whole Navy kind of art style and theme, because that's too core. It drives high LTV players, yes, but if you look at basically this.
Yeah, this is Top Girl.
And this is
we
Top
have
Girl.
freezing
Yeah, exactly.
girls.
So this is Top Girl. So it's all AI, and now they're freezing families trends coming from casual games. So this is going to be like unfortunately or fortunately the next evolution of the whole UA is with the Dark War and all the AI stuff. Because if we actually go even further and go
Rise of Castles, our favorite one.
Where wait a second, I think it was last.
They went AI that it's like you can't go more AI.
Yeah. It's like this was just our AI. Where is this? Where can I find all of this AI stuff? It was just insane. Like it's all.
Facebook.
Yeah, mainly Facebook.
Facebook.
You're right. It was mainly Facebook. It was Facebook only, I guess. It's just all AI. Maybe I need to go back to November as well, and just go all. Yeah, it's and then. They do this into the music, which is the Gangnam Style, obviously, and like they borrowed all of these different stuff, which like people really want to watch these things because it's new and it does look great. And if you see like how the AI video tools progressed in the last few months, it's. Like you can do 10-second videos, so that's why there's always like so many cuts. But as soon as we get into the 30-second or 20-second videos length with AI, like it's going to be unstoppable. You won't be able to see. Yeah,
Matej, can you give me the screen? I have some of the best ones saved on my computer.
Oh Jesus God, I'm not sure like people are ready for this, because like and this is what I think it's going to be. the next step in the UA. And I use a lot of AI on all the games that all the games I manage, because it's that's where everything is heading.
Yeah, and again, the current trend is basically that it's so bizarre and so new that you want to watch this, even though it's like completely nonsensical. But it's still, because the generation is just getting so good lately, you still want to watch this. And there's like many iterations of this that these guys are pulling off, and it's just amazing just to look at like what they're capable of doing. I think I saw one, the morph one. Where was the morph?
There was a lot of different stuff. We talked about this in the last Creative Trends episode as well, where we saw Pikachu, Marvel, DC, all the IP infringements in the AI world.
Yeah, this one. This was my favorite.
And this is the thing, like, nobody cares that much about this. Fusion. So I didn't even see this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I told you I have saved some very, very specific ones because you won't be able to see them anymore. But this is the trend. These are very easy to create, very easy to pump out, and pretty much you catch the trend and you just hop on it. That's it. Like we've seen this on multiple games, pretty much going over it, and it's just there.
It works. And that's like the thing is, everything that Forex does now, and we see it's a trendsetter basically, because if it works in Forex, it means that you are able to actually buy against all of these 30K, 40K, 1,000 installs. So now it's kind of coming into the other genre. So Forex is 2 steps ahead than everybody else. So everything we see in Forex is going to come to the other part of the industry. And like, this is how it is.
Right. And I know all three of you guys were kind of keying in on Forex. Was it because of the revenue, or like Justin, why did you start keying in on Forex and like following these games? Is it the top grossing nature of these games, or for what reason?
Yeah, it was the revenue number. It's just how high these games were going and how high they were charting. But I think like a good question is like you said, like the margin side of the equation, right? I'm sure this stuff, like when you launch at this sort of scale, it isn't cheap. And I think it goes to sort of like whether or not this like business model is sustainable as well over the long term. And like, love to hear your thoughts on it as like probably some of these CPIs get more expensive.
What do you think payback window is, Matej? Is it 24 months? Is it longer?
That's what I think. It's 24 months. But then I heard some rumor on the street as well that like Whiteout Survival is getting way quicker the money back, which sounds unreal. But still, like how they can sustain the low CPIs, and low meaning anything between 30 to 50 instead of like 300. Like that's the key, and I can see that work, honestly. looking at the revenue numbers.
Yeah, but also if you look at these games, I mean, the new generation, all of them are pretty much scaling up.
Exactly.
Like all of them are like from left to right going up. Like this is basically how the market works. Like the only ones are
the old guard.
Yeah, as I said, Rise of Kingdoms, the old one. Like Total Battle is the only, I guess, exception to the rule that kind of is breaking all the rules here, and people should really study it. Where like how, because it's not only the UA trick that they're doing. They even told us like it's many things that they did in order to improve the game from like its initial version in 2018 to where it's now, where it's doing 500,000 a month.
Yeah,
but
Heaven too, right?
Sorry.
That game's been around for freaking forever. Yeah. They somehow they're like a cockroach, but a top grossing cockroach.
Yes, they started doing the pull the pin. That's where it went up, and then now they're doing the gates mechanic because they borrowed it from Last War. So that's why like everything is connected, and I think the next kind of the generation that we are talking about is free course, but it's actually more skewed towards the Last War and the visual style, how that looks like.
But this is again the thing that it confirms the assumption that Forex engine just works the best. And the only thing you need to do is pull the lever on the CPI part of the equation. That's it. Like you have it, you have money.
And that's where it goes. Honestly, why I started looking into Forex, I hate that gameplay. I can't play it, really. Jakub is the one
Same.
that's playing that. I'm not. But the innovation on the UA front, that's insane. So like we can learn so much from Forex. It's like that's the new generation of the creatives, the UA approach, everything basically.
Yeah, I think there's like no single genre on the planet currently that's innovating so much on both the UA front and product front, which is just like, even if you will never do Forex in your whole life, you should still study Forex
and you know
how
why
they work in
they
current
need
sense.
to innovate, because they have to. Because if you pay $300 for CPA, it's not sustainable, and you need to figure it out.
You end up like Rise of Kingdoms. If you don't innovate, you go down. That's it.
Exactly.
And again, the IP thing won't help you here. Like we've seen the Age of Empires thing, how it ended up for
Yeah, because you might actually be at a disadvantage because of the royalties and the licensing fees. So like if you need every bit of margin you can. So then it would seem like the way that you could compete would be to figure out how to gain additional margin. I'm sure they're all doing web shops, I assume.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah.
And if you found a way of like driving K factor, that would be another way of improving your margins as well.
Yeah, but if you think...
Yeah, but driving K factor is basically having the top girl game. Like, it was, by the way, the most watched video on our channel with like 40K views.
That video went absolutely insane, like viral. I haven't seen it literally because it's ranking on the top girl gameplay on the first place, and we hit like 40K views, which we obviously didn't have before anywhere, and it's still getting shit ton of views. That's why I actually made the song about it as well. because by the way, we released a 2.5 Gamers music album, which is the most random thing ever, and like people love it. So it's like this is exactly the thing.
But again, this is the same thing where, if you remember the save the dog thing that was trending at some point on TikTok, where you would like draw with your hand like this kind of obstacle to save the dog against the bees. So there was, what was the name? Panoramic, the RPG
Party
guys, who literally, so they literally duct taped the levels into their onboarding and it shoot them up to like 8 million a month.
From 30 or 40K a month to basically 6 million within like few months.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, just because of that, because again, they changed the whole store screenshots, all the creatives, everything to this one trendy thing, and then
but it's like crazy. It's basic math. You pour more people into the game, there is higher chance of them becoming payers.
Them getting converted.
Easy.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we could be here for forever.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
So do we have any last thoughts in terms of, I don't know if there's any other topics we could discuss, or maybe just your general outlook, or how about we can end with a non-consensus prediction. So a prediction in terms of the Forex market that, you think most people would disagree with you about.
Ooh. Interesting. I think everybody disagrees with us anyway, because we think Forex is like far ahead of everybody, and like that's like my main problem with half of the industry is that they don't just pay attention to Forex, and they should.
Yeah.
Maybe one. Okay, let's do this one. Maybe one bold thing is that what you saw there on Top Girl. The streamlined version of the Forex Engine Core, with just
why are you doing this?
I know.
It's helping my mind process, because it's smurfed into this like very small streamlined thing. So you need to play your Rasengan as you're talking. Anyway, so because it's so streamlined. And it still works very good, because just that map, the interaction, the unlimited spend them, and like all these other dynamics just is the best LTV engine in the market. What I think will happen, that probably we'll see the other way around later down the line, where games that were predominantly not, or genres that were never have anything to do with Forex, will implement this as an additional engine the other way around. Where here we are at the point where we put a lot of fakeness and a lot of like different shortcuts and stuff in the beginning, but it all leads to Forex. This would be the other way around, where we have something and Forex will be an addition.
Endgame.
It won't be the
Endgame will
main.
be Forex.
Yeah.
Endgame will be something
of
plus Forex, but it won't be just Forex.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to concur with that view exactly. I think like Neek, I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but he writes for Navic as well, and I think he's a Supercell game designer now.
Yeah.
And he sort of talks about sort of like pure Forex games, which we talked about earlier, like improved UX. Then you now have genre mashing, and then later on you have this idea that's like used as a meta game, like for like other genres, and like this is exactly what's happening. I think long term.
I mean, I wouldn't consider Forex a meta. Personally, I feel like it is gameplay, but like I would say probably my non-consensus prediction would be that I think that the next big wave or like the next big Forex game will actually innovate on the gameplay side rather than through genre matching or things like that. That it'll be a unique kind of gameplay. Because I think if you think about like the idea of timed march battles and also of alliances, that I think that there's things you can do that are different from how the gameplay orients today. And I think that's where you're going to have a big new win, personally.
You mean something like the Avatar game that never went away out of soft launch, which had Clash Royale style combat in the Forex map?
No, like so. For example, I mean, if you think about like one of the things that we found in Forex is that if you join an alliance very early, the LTV profile of the players that joined like on day one or very early were dramatically higher. So you can kind of imagine, is there a gameplay that is from the very beginning oriented more socially, in which
they'll try it. It didn't work that well.
So I mean, I won't say the specific idea, but like, today when you look at like the way the gameplay behavior of so many people, especially after COVID, is in groups and teams and people playing together. So if you could orient the gameplay more towards a team-based thing, or like the entire, like this idea, like, and I know Fun Plus was excited about high seas and having Forex on a boat for a very long time.
Sea of Conquest. They have the Sea of Conquest now. Yeah.
I mean, I think like almost for like every year after I left Fun Plus, I think Andy had mentioned some form of like, of pirate sea based like Forex team. But like the notion of like of changing up the gameplay where maybe something like that where you're actually not landlocked, where there's some notion of being in a real-time map. Anyway, I won't go over the specific ideas, but you guys kind of get where I'm going, right?
I get it.
Yeah, that you don't have to rely on this kind of like, like a static map where you're jumping around, but like the elements that are core to Forex, the ability to, to build and get rid of troops or whatever units that you're talking about. But if you can change that gameplay in a way that is different and refreshing, but you're taking those same things. It's the whole notion of the strange attractor, right? You take something novel and then you take something that you're used to and you kind of combine those together. I think that's coming. I already have a few ideas personally. I just haven't done them. So I'm sure other people have plenty of ideas along those lines where you can kind of make it feel a little bit different, right? Rather than it's just being another theme, another skin, something like that.
Other people are already working on it. Don't get the suspicious look, Jakub. let's end there. Let's end there. Okay. Okay, I see him just catching a breath, and that's gonna be like another hour for sure. Let's save it for a follow-up podcast, because I think this is not the last time we talk about Forex. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely do some kind of Forex recap of the year, like we used to do for Web3, which we don't need to do anymore.
We need to. What we need to do is a Forex genre overview, like a complete one.
Yeah,
But we need.
that
That
will
will
hard.
be hard. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Call it the 4.5x episode.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Yes. Great.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I think that seems like that's it. So for the audience, if you stuck it out this far, thanks for hanging out with us and hearing what we have to say. And for our audience, we will catch you next time. Thank you very much, Justin, Matej, Jakub. This ridiculous collab between Gamemakers, 2.5 Gamers, and Justin. So, all right. Thank you guys,
Thank you much.
and we'll catch you all later.
Thank you
Bye.
much. Cheers. Bye bye.